It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Happy Tuesday, Mzansi. If you're just joining us right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, you are right on time. It is September, which means it is none other than Pharmacy Month, my friend, where we get to celebrate all of the incredible pharmacists that make our lives so much easier when we are sick, when we are looking for a way to be healthier, when we are just genuinely looking for a little bit of direction when it comes to our health as a whole. These are the people who are the backbone of our communities, and this is why we're so excited to be able to celebrate them in the month of September, all in the name of getting it with our family. It is none other than Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave, that are saying, pharmacists of South Africa, we love the work you're doing. Thank you for it. And more than anything else, it is a huge shout out to how they genuinely do hold up communities in so many different ways. And today we're diving into even how they get in on the medicines that we use. Everyone, this is why we get to sit down with an incredible lady. She is, of course, the treasurer and conference chair of the South African Association of Pharmacists in Industry. Everyone, let's give a feel-good welcome, please. It is Yuthika Prahlad.
Thank you.
Yuthika, how are you?
I'm well. How are you, Zanele?
I'm amazing. Thank you. All the better for sitting down with you.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. I'm so excited because I feel like our pharmacists really are unsung heroes. That's why it's so important for Expresso and Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave, to say, okay, how can we show our incredible pharmacists that they really mean a lot to us? But we know that this job encompasses so much more, because you kind of think of a pharmacist and you're like, okay, I get to see them when I'm sick, and it's the smiling face behind the counter. But talk to us just a little bit, when we talk about the different roles that pharmacists play, what are they exactly?
So within the context of industry, Zanele, there's a lot of diversity in terms of what a pharmacist can do.
Yeah.
So we are involved with the life cycle of the product, ensuring safety, efficacy, and quality throughout that entire life cycle.
Yeah.
So you'll find pharmacists in research and development, in clinical trials.
Sure.
You also find pharmacists doing what we call dossier submissions and new product registrations. So those are like your regulatory affairs pharmacists. You find pharmacists also involved in the actual manufacturing of the products. So you would have production pharmacists, quality assurance pharmacists, quality control pharmacists, and they are also responsible for the quality management system within that facility as well.
Yeah.
But it doesn't stop there. You have pharmacists who are also doing post-market surveillance as well. So those are your pharmacovigilance pharmacists. You have pharmacists who can be involved in supply and demand planning and forecasting to ensure that we have enough stock and medicine available to the South African public. You have pharmacists who can also be involved with marketing and sales. With the strong clinical knowledge that pharmacists receive during their training, they make excellent sales reps.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and they can also be in marketing, those with a bit more of a creative flair.
Hi, there's pharmacists everywhere.
We are everywhere.
I love that. I love that. And also, I genuinely will sit here and be honest. I didn't know that pharmacists can be so involved in terms of the medicines from when they are actually discovered to then being dispensed. So can you walk us through that specific journey?
Yeah.
How are they involved rather, and how does it actually work?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's quite a complex process, as I'm sure you can appreciate, but I'll try to take us through a bit of a summary.
Yes.
So we first start off with the research and development process, where you'll have teams who are looking at different compounds or molecules that could potentially be used for specific disease conditions.
Yes.
So once they identify something and they say, well, okay, this looks good and we can take this further, that will be synthesized into a form that can be used in clinical trials. Again, pharmacists are involved here in the clinical trials, where we test the safety, efficacy, and quality of those medicines and see whether it is really up to standard and it can do what we thought it could do when we were in the initial research and development phase. And once those clinical trials have concluded and we have sufficient evidence to say, okay, we can support the registration of this product, we can then move on to the registration phase. But I think it's also important to acknowledge that there are also generic medicines. So what I've described are for your originator medicines.
Okay.
Generic medicines basically focus on replicating existing compounds.
Yeah.
So something that's already been discovered, those are replicated, and those tend to come in at a more competitive price to the market because that lengthy research and development and costly clinical trials have already been conducted.
Hectic.
Yeah, so it's actually better for us in a way as well, because that comes in at a more competitive price. It can reach the market a little bit faster as well. So, they still go through that rigorous registration process with SAPRA.
Yeah.
but ultimately, we have the originator medicines, and then we also have the generic medicines that exist in our markets.
That's incredible. Oh my goodness. I feel like you're just opening a whole different world for us today.
I'm glad.
Yeah, you
I'm
genuinely
glad.
are. And this is why, even just the way that you just said that, the journey to medicine can be so complex,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So can you take us through what regulatory oversight actually
Yes,
happens in
yes.
terms of making sure that these medicines are fine to go to market and even for people to receive them and start taking them?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have multiple, we have our main authority that we are responsible to submit our new registrations to, and that would be SAPRA,
Yes.
our health authority.
Yes.
So when we are planning to submit a new registration, we would compile a dossier and submit it through to SAPRA for their evaluation.
Okay.
So SAPRA, as we know, they are responsible for regulating all health, but also veterinary products as well that exist within our market. And again, their three main pillars are safety, efficacy, and quality. And I really think that's the mandate that us as a pharmaceutical industry really stand behind,
Yes.
right? But besides SAPRA, we also have other bodies that regulate us. We have, first and foremost, the South African Pharmacy Council that oversees the entire pharmacy profession. And so all pharmacists and allied pharmacy professionals also need to be registered and abide by their ethics and their principles as well.
Amazing.
Then you have the National Department of Health, who are our overarching health body. And we also need to have licenses from them in order to operate within a South African context as a pharmaceutical company.
Love that.
But I'd love to also just mention that, in South Africa, we have a great respect for international standards.
Okay.
So, not just SAPRA, but we also follow the stringent regulatory bodies that you find across the world, your FDA, your European medicines authorities. We also look at technical bodies like the ICH that aims to harmonize technical requirements across the globe. PICS that aims to harmonize your manufacturing standards across the globe. So the point here is that you can truly be assured that the medicines you get in South Africa are of a world-class standard.
I love that for us.
Yeah.
As someone who believes in medicine, I come from a family of doctors, so you know.
that's awesome.
Yeah. But just in closing, especially with you talking about the this word doesn't like
Regulatory.
me. Regulatory, thank you. Those bodies that, almost inform what it is that we are able to receive in terms of marketing. What does ethical advertising actually mean?
So it's a very good question because, advertising and marketing within our industry has to be very tightly regulated, because we need to prevent false or misleading information from being released to our public, right? So as pharmacists and as an industry, we have a great responsibility to ensure that the information that we pass on is reliable, accurate, and truthful.
Yes.
So first and foremost, we are governed by the Medicines and Related Substances Act 101 of 1965.
Yeah.
And that basically provides us with legal oversight of what is permissible within the South African context in terms of what we can advertise and how we are allowed to do it as well.
Amazing.
But you also have bodies like the Marketing Code Authority of South Africa, who will also guide us in terms of what the Medicines and Related Substances Act does say in terms of what we are allowed to advertise and how we are allowed to go about promoting.
Amazing.
And I also just wanted to add one more thing, because this is such an important topic regarding advertising and marketing is, online advertising and online marketing. With the rise of the internet and social media, you see medicines being advertised online, and especially on social media, and social media content is not truly regulated, or there's very little regulation. So people could make false, unsubstantiated or, exaggerated claims.
Sure.
So just a word of caution, when you see something on social media related to medicines, just take it with a pinch of salt, because
Definitely.
if it sounds too good to be true,
It probably is.
absolutely.
And that is why we're so grateful for our regulatory bodies. I got it right. And then Yuthika, thank you so much. Thank you
it's
for the
been a
great work
pleasure.
you guys are doing. And honestly and truly, I feel like I said, you open us up to such a big world of even just the work that pharmacists do and the medicine that we take. So thank you to you guys.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Oh, my goodness, Mzansi, this is exactly what September is going to be about all throughout. And we've been getting ready all throughout August as well, all in the name of letting our pharmacists know just how much they mean to us and how much we are genuinely all about them. But my friend, you also know that there's always something nice for you when Adcock Ingram OTC sponsors of Brave are in the building. So we have every single Tuesday 2,000 Rand that could be yours. But listen to this. All you got to do is head on over to our competition post on our Expresso social media pages. And then, my love, all in the name of celebrating Pharmacy of the Month, or rather Pharmacy Month as a whole, you need to tell us who is your pharmacy hero and why. And don't forget to use the hashtag @Cock OTC Allergy Survival Pack, rather. It is hashtag @Cock OTC Allergy Survival Pack. It is that easy, and you 100% get to put yourself into the competition, and hopefully you can be a winner of that beautiful 2,000 Rand. I'm crossing fingers for you. T's and C's do apply. And let me tell you as well, competition does close at midday, so go and do it now so that you don't have to worry about it being too late later on, all right? It is always so lovely to be able to celebrate those unsung heroes who truly are the backbone of our communities. And thank you so much to each and every one of our pharmacists. We can't wait to continue celebrating you. For now, we're going to take a short break, but we'll see you after this right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Only you can make